welcome back. I hope you guys had a great week thinking about how much God loves you and wants to be with you. And then hopefully you've talked to him in prayer this last week.
This week, we're going to keep talking about how prayer is the way we talk to God, but also how God talks to us.
That's so cool.
So cool.
That God would actually talk to us.
I know. You know what else is cool?
What?
Birthdays.
Let's see whose birthday it is.
All right, this week we are saying happy birthday to Kyson and Roya. Happy birthday, guys.
You know, we need to go ahead and start off with our verse. It talks about praying. So are you guys ready to do it? All right, so what should we do for this week? Should we skip a word?
Let's skip a word. I think they're ready.
Okay, are you ready? So we're gonna say every other word, but you guys have to fill in the words. You got it?
You got this.
Okay, here we go.
It's
don't about know what tell about ask pray and sorry, I gave you a clue. That was and. Hopefully you got that one. And
give.
I'm not smart enough for this, y'all. And give
to.
You
that
got
was
it.
So good. Philippians
Amazing.
4:6. Nerd, you guys.
right.
Amazing.
I'm not smart enough for some of our games, but I think the kids are, so it's
hopefully you
it's
can
good.
be smart enough for this next game.
Okay.
You got this.
Got this.
Okay, so for this game, we are gonna give you guys some clues on some different ways we can communicate. So you guys have to guess which way we're describing.
Now, some of these you personally may not have used because y'all are super high tech, but there's lots of ways that people would talk to each other back in the olden days, like
in the olden days
when I was growing up and stuff. So, okay, so these are ways people communicate. It goes both ways. So you can talk and you can listen. First clue, it requires a pen and a paper and like a little sticker about this big. It goes kind of slow. What do you think it is?
It's writing a letter.
Writing a letter. Have you guys ever written a letter to somebody?
If you've done that, you are pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. It's called snail mail. It gets there really, really slow.
You can even send it by pigeon.
Sometimes, yeah. We didn't put that one on there, but pigeon carry that. They did send messages that way before.
That's true.
Okay,
All
this
right.
next one, near and dear to my heart. I actually used one of these lots. So you plug it into a wall and it has a curly cord, like a long, long, long piggy tail. Sometimes you do this. Sometimes you do this.
It's gonna be a very old fashioned
Telephone. That's right.
Very old.
Yeah. Oh, nostalgic.
Anyways,
Nostalgic.
so our next one is it's two people, obviously. All these go both ways. You have to push a button to talk. It's
Give you a hint. Breaker.
walkie-talkie, everybody.
That's right.
All right, we have one last one.
I thought
Are
there
they
were
ready
two.
for it?
Let me see. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. This one's really tricky. It's pretty old-fashioned. They used it in World War I, World War II, and it kind of has that little code. It like goes through, a little ticket prints out, there's little words. Do you have any idea what that is? Uses like Morse code or different codes.
It's a telegraph, ladies and
Telegraph.
gentlemen.
Can you believe that? People would like
History
make
for
words.
you this morning.
Make words from doing that. That's crazy.
So isn't it great that we don't have to talk to God through tapping on a table? That would be very tough for
It would
us.
take a really long time.
But just like all those ways, you guys, wouldn't it be awkward if someone was just tapping on a table all day and no one ever said anything back? So we are talking today about how important it is that prayer is the way we talk to God, but God also talks to us. Isn't that amazing?
And we're learning this month about the life of Moses. And Moses is a great example of someone who was really close to God. And they actually had conversations just like you have with your friend. And so Moses, we learned last week how he'd go to the tent of meeting and he and God would talk about stuff. We're seeing this week how Moses went up on Mount Sinai and God gave him the 10 Commandments. Talk about a heavy conversation. Get it? Anyways, so he gave him the stone tablets, and it was pretty cool because it's a great example of how not only did Moses talk to God, but God talked to him and gave him direction and gave him things to give to other people. So we're going to check out that story and be thinking about how you might listen to God while you watch this.
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Moses. This is Moses, who was an Israelite born in Egypt, in a time when Israelite boys were not supposed to live. Moses, however, grew up in the palace of the Pharaoh, the very man who was enslaving the Israelite people. When Moses grew up, he made a big mistake and fled Egypt to live with the Midianites. But God called Moses back to Egypt to deliver his people with the help of his brother Aaron. After God showed his miraculous power in Egypt, he led the Israelites through the Red Sea and towards the Promised Land. They followed God, who showed himself as a cloud by day and fire by night. As God led them through the wilderness, the Israelites became thirsty and hungry. They complained to Moses and Aaron and said, "If only we had died in Egypt." God said to Moses that he would provide for his people. Each morning they awoke and found manna for the day.
What's that?
And each night God gave them meat. The people were still thirsty, and they were mad at Moses, saying, "Did you bring us out here to die of thirst?" So Moses cried out to God, and God told Moses to strike a rock, and water came flowing out of it for the people to drink. And so the Lord provided for his people's needs. After traveling in the desert for 3 months, they came to Mount Sinai, and God called Moses from the top of the mountain. God spoke to Moses there of the future of his people and reminded him of the miracles of the past. After 3 days, there was thunder and lightning as a thick cloud covered the mountain. The people heard a loud trumpet blast. And Moses led people to the foot of the mountain to meet with God. God told them how his people were to live and how they were to honor him and respect each other. The Israelites had seen for themselves that God had spoken to Moses from heaven. These rules that God told them are called the 10 Commandments. And the Israelites feared God, for his mighty power had brought them out of slavery and provided for them in the desert.
Hey guys, isn't that amazing that God showed Moses how to live? That Moses was able to really be with God and listen to what he had for his life. Isn't that incredible?
And not just for his life, but for all the Israelites. Because sometimes God will show us something for someone else, and we have to go share it with them too. So, but the important thing is that, first of all, that we're not just talking to God, but we're listening. So our big question for this week is,
how can you listen to God? See you guys next week.
Talk about that.